To an extent, yes, coaching is a part of it because you're either coaching or allowing it to happen. Unfortunately, though, it is not as cut and dry when you're dealing with first and second round players or people with second contracts. And you've heard me talk about that plenty of times as it pertains to who should get benched, why this player is still out there. That's the politics side. That's the side when you go and talk to your head coach and he looks you square in your eyes and say, this decision is above me and your pay grade. Speaking from experience. So it's certain parts that is out of his hands also, man. And that's the business side. Different than college, different than high school. You make certain moves without the okay from people upstairs. And that's how you see people get fired abruptly. That's how you get how did Brian Flores become available? What's going on here, right? How did this coach, oh man, what happened over there with that? That's how that type of stuff happens, man. So once again, to an extent, yeah, coaches definitely has a hand in this thing. I think the approach he's starting to take now, he's about to start finding them cats. Because if I can't take you off the field, which I've seen plenty of times, you know who I was in that locker room with, baby. Come on, man. But if I can't hit you this way, I'm going to try to kill you on this side, baby. I'm after your pockets because you're going to respect that. So that's ultimately what's about to come next for these cats, man. But unfortunately, at this level, it is not that simple as this player doesn't play the way that I want him to play every single time. Just sit George Pickens. Does not work like that. Does not, man. So as much as we would love to simplify it and just put it all on Coach Tomlin, like I know some of y'all do. Ain't nothing wrong with it, baby. That's just the reality of it. Speaking from personal experiences with these situations, man.
One of my things I was thinking about with Tomlin, too, was just the nature of how he started his coaching tenure here with the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
When he came in, he was a really young dude, and we had a team full of veterans,
OGs.
guys that won Super Bowls that weren't too much younger than Tomlin. I mean, maybe even some of them were older. I think Charlie Batch might have been older at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when Tomlin came in, I think it's a smart approach to take to be a more players coach and let the veterans and
lead.
Those guys that know what it takes to win championship. Yeah, lead it.
Let your veterans lead.
Bring your own flavor, bring your own whatever it is that you can to the team, being the head coach.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I think we had guys that knew what it took.
Yeah.
So like being a little bit more hands off and being a players coach that was smart. And then some of the guys that we brought in, one, you had Ben for the rest of that time for
so you had
the next however many years.
Leader throughout.
And then you drafted good dudes who were naturally leaders. Like Pouncey,
across
DeCastro,
the board, like
studs like A.B. and Bell. On defense, Shazier, Cam Hayward. So like that approach still worked throughout that time. But now, I mean, we're about a decade removed from that like second iteration of the Tomlin tenure here.
The rimlets are TJ Cam.
Yeah.
Them the last two.
And now we're getting...
and Boss. TJ Cam and Boss. Minka, like I said, Minka came even after I left. But the last of that 2016, 2017 group. Yeah.
So now, seeing how everything's played out recently, and we're at this, it feels like, breaking point with the organization. Yeah. I think Tomlin does seriously need to think about changing his approach and adjusting how he does things. Being more hands-on, being more of a dictator. Being less player-friendly, I guess.
Yeah. And trust me.
And he should get the year to do that. And I've said that how many times? He should get this offseason to do that. Bring in whatever coaching staff he feels like is required. However, he needs to adjust the roster. Yeah. Whatever things he needs to look in the mirror about and, say, hey, maybe I got to start being more this way than that way. Yeah. He should get at least a season of that. But just looking back and how things started, maybe that's how we've gotten to this point though too.
That does make sense though, and I think of during our time here, we had veterans, we had leadership. Yeah, even to a point. I remember Shazier as a rookie. I'm helping him out in certain elements of it, so it's like we all had that piece. Debo's helping me out in certain elements, so it's like you have that right now. Though you're right, we missing a lot of that leadership stuff, and
particularly offense.
That's the main part of it. And when you think about most of the issues, where are they coming from? that side of the ball right now. So it makes sense where we're at. And we've been seeing this type of stuff. It's just when you start losing, it gets loud. That's all the difference right now, man.